Hello, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome you to the Battle of the Patriots here at Rod Oldham Gymnasium. I'm Brandon Lazier alongside my colleague here, Ricky Hill. Ricky, the Parkersburg South Patriots are coming into the game 14-7-1 against the Patriots of George Washington, who indeed are 15-5. What does the atmosphere feel like here tonight in senior night at the Rod Oldham Gymnasium?
Well, Brandon, I believe the atmosphere here is, I could say it's very tense. Both teams, the Parkersburg South Patriots and the GW Patriots, they're very even in skill and record, and both teams have their own X factors, if you will, their own outstanding players.
Now let's meet the teams for tonight. First of all,
we're going to meet the two teams.
Washington, the starting lineup, number 3.
And we're going to go ahead and meet the team for George Washington with the starting lineup. Number 3, Kennedy Trapero. Number 5,
number 11,
Luke Eddy. Number 11, Darian Williams.
Number 21,
Ryan Switzer.
And
number 30, Thomas Frenicky.
George Washington is coached by Rick Green.
And up next, we will meet your Parkersburg South Patriots. And we'll be introduced to the Parkersburg South Patriots senior, number 1, Ryan Patterson.
Number 3,
AJ Oskin.
Number 12,
Matt Goldsberry.
Number
13, Garrett Lynch.
Number 20, Joe Holland.
Number 20, Joe Holland.
And number 22, DeAndre
And
Price.
last but not least, number 22, DeAndre Price.
Parkersburg South is coached by Mike Fallon. Assistant coaches Bill Marshall and Chris Eisen. The starting lineup for the Patriots tonight will be number 0, Tyler Boland.
And here's the starting lineup for Parkersburg South. Number 0, Tyler Boland. Number 2, Cody Monroe. Number 5, Doug Dennis. Number 34, Wes Mitchell. And number 44, Logan Cox.
Your officials for tonight's game from the Ohio West Virginia Board of Officials: Dave Flink, Dave Bowles, and Dave Habab.
Both teams are going to come in the middle to go for the jump off. It's going to be Logan Cox jumping for South.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And Thomas Frankie jumping for GW. And tip-off goes to South as number 2, Cody Monroe, is going to take it up court. He looks to drive into the lane. He's going to dump it out to Boland. Boland goes back out to Monroe at the three-point line. Monroe back to Boland to the top of the key to Mitchum. Mitchum's looking as he throws it now to Logan Cox. Logan Cox hanging it at the three-point line. He's going to try to drive in. Good defense there. Can't get anything as he kicks out to Boland. Boland pumps, and he goes to shoot, but passes it down deep to Mitchum, and Mitchum goes for a nice touch pass and cannot get it. As Gito gets a rebound, and Trapero's going to be taking up court as he'll throw it to Eddy as Eddy goes to Switzer. Switzer back to Eddy. Eddy goes to drive in, loses control, but is knocked out by Wes Mitchum from the Parkersburg South side.
There was no foul in the play.
As Switzer tries to drive back in, throws it back out. And a nice three-pointer there by Trapero. Goes to Mitchum to the top of the key. He throws it out to the three-point line to Boland. Boland tries to throw it back out to Cox. Cox is looking for someone. He's going to take the dribble now. Still looking. He's going to pass off to Mitchum. Now Mitchum's going to look for a lane and see go back out. He's going to shoot a jumper. Hits off the back of the rim. No good as Switzer gets the rebound. And here comes Switzer running up court, and he's going to throw it to Trapero. Trapero goes to drive in. And we have a foul on number 5. Doug Dennis. That's going to be the first foul of the game. So get Trapero back out to Williams. Williams throws it down to their big man, Frankie, as Frankie's going to throw it out. And no good as Parkersburg South gets the rebound. And here comes Monroe up in the court. Monroe trying to set up a play here. Gets a nice pick there by Mitchum. Still nothing though. And the bad pass will end up getting to Mitchum. As he looks for a drive, he can find one. And he gets fouled going for the nice layup. And he will get to shoot 2 at the free throw line. And that's going to be Switzer on 21.
Sorry, Brandon. That would be Switzer's first foul. See, that would be the first also for GW.
So as we take a little break here, Ricky, what have you been seeing so far in this game?
I've seen that both teams have came out very strong. It looks like they're both playing with a lot of pride, both playing with a lot of integrity in this game, I believe. I think this will be definitely a battle to the finish.
As Mitchum sunk his first shot. And here's his second one, and he sinks that one too. Switzer's going to take the inbound. He's going to throw it out to Eddie. Eddie needs to get across the half-court line. As he does, and he throws it to their big man, Frankie. Frankie back out there, and it goes to the top of the key down to Switzer. Switzer's going to look to drive now. He's got a wide-open man on the side, and it's going to go to Trapero at the three-point line, who's already made one, but this time it hits off the back of the rim. And a nice rebound there by Cox as he's going to get it to Wes Mitchum as Mitchum takes it up court. And he throws it out to Monroe. Monroe looks to drive back out to Dennis, as Dennis went to drive in, but no good. And Trapero is going to get a free one here, and good defense by Mitchum. And Parkersburg South Patriots have the ball back once again. Here comes Bolin. He's going to throw it out to Cox. Nice play there. Bolin's going to drive in to the court, to the hoop, and he gets it to put his team up 4-3. Bolin with his first points of the night. Nice press here by Parkersburg South. And Cody Monroe forces the ball to go out of bounds, but it's out on South. So George Washington will get the ball back here. Or we'll keep the ball, excuse me. Eddie's going to throw it down to Trapero. Trapero's going to look to drive. He has a wide open man in Williams. Williams throws up the three, no good. But Eddie gets the rebound and a nice putback to make the score 5-4. But here comes Cody Monroe once again. He's going to pass it out to Mitchum. Mitchum's going to pass to the corner to Bolin. Bolin tries to find a crease, can't find anything. And it gets hit out of bounds by number 11 from George Washington, Darian Williams. Bolin's will throw it into Monroe. Monroe there. He's going to throw it back to Bolin. Bolin will bounce pass into Mitchum. He's got a wide open man, and Cox on the three-point line, and Cox gets the three-pointer to make the score 7-5. And once again, we see this press by Parkersburg South. Really trying to slow down their opponents here, Ricky.
What's that, Brandon?
The full court press here by Parkersburg South, really attempting to slow down this offensive play by George Washington, but didn't work that time as Frankie gets the layup. Monroe is going to take the ball down court. He's going to throw it to Mitchum.
Mitchum's going to go down.
And that's going to be a travel on Parkersburg South here. So Frankie will throw the ball in here. He'll throw it to Trapero, who will just throw it back to Frankie. Gets it to Switzer. Switzer's going to try to use his speed here. He's going to take it to the hoop, and he gets another layup for him.
Now, how fast did you say Switzer was, Brandon?
Well, when they timed his 40 during football season, it was around a 4.2 to a 4.3.
Oh, my. That is amazing. That
very,
means he
very
is
quick.
He is lightning fast.
Yes, he is, as Cox is going to throw it out to Monroe. Monroe will put up a three, and he gets a three also. And we got a timeout on Parkersburg South.
Be 3:35 left in the first quarter. South has 10, GW has 9.
Yeah, so a timeout here. Now we can talk a little bit more. You know, when I asked you before, you said both teams are coming out playing with a lot of pride and a lot of integrity. Has that really changed since that time, Ricky?
I don't think so. I think South has came out very strong. It looks like they got their head in the game and they know what they're going to do. And GW, it does look like they have about the same skill level as South, as I mentioned earlier in the pregame.
And we saw Switzer's speed there. As mentioned, is 40 times unbelievable. Do you think Ryan Switzer is going to be an X factor in this game?
I guarantee it.
Okay, we'll see then. Both teams come back out on the court. The inbound pass goes to Trapero. It went to Eddie. Just threw it to Trapero. Back to Eddie. Still not across that half-court line. And it gets knocked out by Cody Monroe, but still good defense with a nice press there once again.
Slowing down the GW offense very well.
Yeah, something you don't usually see, a full-court press this early in the game, but a good game plan for Parkersburg South with this fast team. As Switzer is going to get the ball, and he's going to throw it down to Eddie. Eddie throws it back out to Williams. Williams back to the top of key to Trapero. He throws it out to the corner to Switzer. Switzer back to the top to Eddie, out to Williams. Williams is going to put up the three, and it's an in-and-out shot. But Trapero with a nice offensive rebound, scrambling for the ball. Switzer gets at the top of the key down to Eddie. And Trapero looked like he was about to shoot, couldn't get it. They're going to throw it to Williams, and Williams once again puts up a three, and they're just going to count that as a two as Cody Monroe takes the ball up court.
I think Williams might be another person to watch in this game, as he has shown out that he is very strong at the beginning.
Yeah, and they just got a traveler on Parkersburg South off Logan Cox. As we have a substitution here for GW, as Frankie will come off the court and Cole Salmons will come on.
I believe that is South's third turnover of the game. Now here's South backing off with the press a little.
Yeah, as Trapero has it at the top of the key. Looks to drive. He's going to throw it to Williams. Williams is going to look to drive. Can't get it. Throws it to Trapero. Trapero goes in for the layup and doesn't get it. As South will bring the ball up the court here. This is number 12, Matt Goldsberry, as he has the ball at the top of the key here. Looking to set up a play. He's going to throw out to Monroe.
You know, it doesn't seem like GW is playing a very aggressive defense so far. I'd like to see how that plans out later in the game.
Monroe's going to throw it to number 20, Holland, and Holland can't get it to fall. But here comes Eddie racing back down the court with that speed that we talked about from GW, as he's going to throw it to Williams. Williams looks like he's getting ready to shoot there, didn't get it, and a turnover there for GW, as Holland will get the turnover, and he's coming back up court. And he's going to throw it to Goldsberry. Goldsberry looks to take, but he gets blocked by number 25, Salmon. Here comes Trapero. He's going to throw it out to Eddie.
There's South leaning back again. I wonder what they're up to. Maybe they're trying to scare GW.
As Trapero with a nice drive to the hoop. As here comes Parkersburg South and Cody Monroe. He's going to throw it to Holland. And the ball's going to go down to Mitchum. Mitchum's going to pass it back out to a wide open Monroe for the three. No good. Hits off the corner of the rim. As Eddie will take the ball up court. He's going to give it to Trapero. Trapero's going to throw it to Williams. Williams has a wide open switch at the outside. Switcher decides not to take the shot, but instead throw it to Trapero. Trapero with another three-pointer in this game to increase their lead by 6 from 16 to 10.
7 points for Trapero on the game.
Wes Mitchum looking to drive. He gets it out. And an and one that time for number 12, Matt Goldsberry. Good take. Good look at the hoop and way to track the foul that time.
Goldsberry at the line, shooting one.
Here comes Goldsberry's shot. It is up, and it is good. So a three-point play that time. As we have a substitution as DeAndre Price comes into the game for number 5, Doug Dennis. Excuse me. Let's see this press once again, Ricky.
There they go. Right on GW now. Maybe that is South's tactic to try to scare GW.
Switzer looks to attract a foul, couldn't get it. Gets a nice pass into number 10, Austin Breeden, but Breeden couldn't get the shot to fall.
Looks like out on South, I believe. Not sure the number on that.
So the ball's going to go to Shapiro, a dangerous three-point shooter, but he elects not to take the shot and instead pass it back to Eddie to set up the play. So Eddie's standing top of the court and looks to set up a play here. He's going to pass it out to his wingman, Shapiro. Shapiro will throw up another three, and at the end of the first period, couldn't get it. So 16-13 so far at the end of that first period. Still, does your thoughts change at all, Ricky?
I still think that both teams are playing like this might be the last game they're ever going to play. You know, that's always nice to see in a team that they have that mindset that you never know. You never know how the game's going to go, so you might as well try your very hardest. And that's a quality to admire, in a team.
Right, yeah, this is the regionals, so I mean, it very well could be in that case. Maybe that's why we're seeing a lot more integrity and pride in both teams. We'll see how this one plans out. And both teams are going to come out on the court. So G-Dub will have the ball coming into this second period as the inbound pass goes to Switzer. No press this time as Switzer is going to cross the half-court line. Bounce pass it to the big man, Frankie. He goes to put in a shot, no good, hits off the backboard. Logan Cox with the aggressive rebound, and they'll throw it out to Goldsberry. Goldsberry's going to take it up the court, pass it out to Tyler Bolin on the wing. Bolin will pass it to Mitchum, And Mitchum will pass it back out to Dennis, who passes it immediately to Cox, who then passes it back to Mitchum, but the shot can't fall. And Switzer will take the ball down court. He's got Williams on the three-point line. The shot wasn't there. So Switzer is going to pass it back out to Eddie, who will pass it to Williams. Williams will put up a jumper, no good, but a good offensive rebound there for number 30, Thomas Frankie. As South immediately comes back down. Doug Dennis will put up the three. It's off the side of the rim, no good. And Eddie's going to bring it up court. He's going to get it to Switzer. Switzer with a nice move to try to get into shot, and he gets it to fall. A nice little jumper there by Ryan Switzer. As Goldsberry's going to take it up court, he'll throw it to Wes Mitchum.
Seems like GW is coming a little stronger this quarter.
Certainly does seem like that, as Cox can't get the shot to fall here. And Eddie's going to drive in, not there. He's going to throw it out to Frankie. Frankie goes for this jumper, and he gets it to go. 6 points in a row scored there for GW.
Very impressive indeed.
Really good run here as Parkersburg South will take the timeout to try to calm it down a little bit. So coming out into the second period, Ricky, you know, coaches had time to talk to the players. Do you see any differences?
GW seems like they might be coming a little stronger than South right now, although I do think South might get their head back. Maybe they lost to trailing just a tad. They are trailing by, I believe, 9 points right now. I think, though, they will get their head back, and they will come around and make this a very, very good game.
Both teams are at their benches talking to their coaches right now. Cox will be throwing the inbound pass. And he gets it to Goldberry. As Goldberry crosses the half-court line, looking to set up a play. The pick wasn't there. He's going to pass it out to Dennis. Dennis will throw it to Bolin. Bolin throws it back out to his wingman, Goldberry. Goldberry will throw it to the top of the key to Cox. Cox takes one dribble and decides not to do anything with it. Throws it to Dennis. Dennis with the strong drive. But we will get a foul here on Dennis. And the foul will go on number 10, Austin Breeden.
That would be Breeden's first foul for the game and GW's third.
Bolin at the wing. He looks to drive in. Nice drive, but he passes it out to Dennis, who's wide open, and he gets a good three, and that's a way to bust that momentum from GW. As Switzer takes out the court and throws out to Trapera, back to Switzer, then out to Eddie, as Eddie looks to be the set up a play. He will throw it right back to Switzer.
As we see South laying back a little more, like we were saying that they were near the end of the first.
And the shot can't fall for Eddie, as Mitchum will just take the ball up court himself. He's going to throw it out to Goldberry. Goldberry's going to try to drive, not there. But a nice pass to Cox, but Cox can't get the layup.
Seems like South has a little trouble right now of putting balls down the hoop.
And here we go, as Breeden has the ball. He's going to throw it out to Switzer. Trapero wide open at the three-point line. And he'll just airball that one, as Goldberry takes the ball back up court. Goes out to Dennis. Dennis back to Goldberry. Goldberry looking for a man, as he gets it to Dennis. Dennis will take the dribble. Throws it to Mitchum. Mitchum will get it down to Bolin, but Bolin can't handle the pass, and it goes out of bounds. And we have a substitution here, as the freshman Cody Monroe will come in for number 12, Matt Goldsberry.
Now again, we'll see South still laying back.
Yeah, not going with that press like they were originally. Maybe trying to slow things down a little bit here, as Switzer will take it. And Switzer once again has it. Throws it to Trapero.
Sounds like the crowd's not liking Switzer too much.
And it's going to be out off West Mitchum. And the inbounds pass will go to Trapero here, as he goes back to the top to try to set up the play. And Switzer's got to have it, and he's going to try to drive in here.
There's the crowd again booing him.
As Bolin hits it out, and it's still going to be G-Dub's ball, as Switzer will be the one inbounding here.
Not entirely sure what he did, but I'm a little concerned myself.
As Switzer tries to inbound. A nice inbound pass there to Eddie, but Eddie can't get the layup to go. So here comes the freshman Cody Monroe. And he's going to take a nice drive to the hoop, and a good layup there by Cody Monroe to cut this lead by 4. And here comes Switzer. And so we got to Trapero at the wing. And Trapero will throw it back to Switzer. And Switzer's going to inbound it. He inbounds it in. Someone we haven't seen so far. And we don't have a name for him here. And so he travels, and now it'll be South ball as Logan Cox is going to throw out to Bolin. And Bolin's going to throw it back to Mitchum. Mitchum with the little jumper there. Can't get it to fall. It's Eddie with the rebound. And can't get the shot to go. Here comes Mitchum taking the ball up court. And Mitchum's going to drive. Can't get it. He throws it out to Bolin. Bolin hits it off the side of the rim. Tries to throw it back in. But here comes Switzer. One-on-one, Switzer versus Mitchum. And Switzer can't get the layup to go as it goes back out. Neither can Eddie, as South gets the rebound, and here comes Bolin, as he'll just give it to Cody Monroe. And Mitchum will go to drive here. Can't get it. Throws a sloppy pass out to Bolin, but Bolin able to control it.
foul on South.
And they're going to call a charge that time on Bolin.
On Bolin.
Frankie checks in for
That was his first penalty, I believe the second for South.
And in comes back in Thomas Frankie.
We'll see maybe if Switzer gets the ball again, the crowd's distaste for him.
As the ball go to Williams, and he'll throw it back up to the top to Eddie. Shapiro can't get the layup to go once again, as Bolin is just going to take the ball back up court, looking for an open man. He's going to throw it clear across court to Dennis, who throws it immediately back to Holland. Cody Monroe. Cody Monroe is going to give it to Dennis. Dennis is going to give it to Bolin as Bolin gets a nice drive in. And he can't get it to go. Eddie will be at the three-point line, and he can't get it to go either. And we have a foul here on number 30, Thomas Frankie.
That'll be Frankie's first penalty, the fourth one for GW.
Holland's going to inbound it to the freshman Cody Monroe.
That is a big freshman.
As Cody Monroe is going to take the ball up court, and he's going to give it out to Cox, but Cox back to Bolin. Down to Price now in the game. Gives it to Holland.
Is that the first time we've seen Price here in the game
I believe the second.
Second?
I believe the second,
Okay.
yes. As good defense that time by the big man Frankie. And a nice pass down to Williams. And Holland tries to hit it off Williams, so Williams, being aware of it, catches the ball. And G-Dub gets it back as here's Switzer, who's going to bounce pass it to Frankie. And Frankie tries for the fadeaway, no good. And they're going to call that one out on South as we are coming to the 42-second mark of the second period. Frankie will get the inbounds here. He's going to throw it out to Switzer.
There again, you hear the crowd.
And Switzer goes for a drive, and he can't get it. And they're going to call another foul on Bolin.
Be Bolin's second foul, third for South.
And Switzer will shoot his two. First one gets it to go. So South had a nice little run there for a little while, but this might kind of break that momentum from South here. What do you think, Ricky?
I believe that South, they're really stopping GW's offense. They've definitely put it to a halt. They've only had, looks like, 1 point on the board since the second quarter.
And here goes Switzer to attempt his second. Ball is up, and the ball is good. So the freshman Cody Monroe gets the inbounds. He's just going to walk it up court, try to take some of that time off the clock. He's just going to hold on to it here until we get to the final seconds, then try to make a quick move. As now he's going to try to set up his plays. He passes it to Mitchum. Mitchum goes to drive. It's not there. He goes to drive again, a hard drive, but he gets fouled by Solomon.
Solomon's first foul for the game, GW's fifth.
And we're at 10.5 seconds here in the second period that is left as Mitchum will going to attempt his first one. And Mitchum gets it.
Frankie checks in for GW. Cox for South.
Cox is going to check in for Price here.
Sorry about that, Brandon. That'd give South 19 points, going for 20 here with Mitchum's next free throw.
And he's going to put it up, and once again, good. Cut that lead to 4 as we have 10.5 seconds left in this second period. Here we see that press again, Ricky.
There they go.
He's going to give it to Trapero. Trapero looks like he's going to get the last shot. He's going to get a nice drive.
The ball bounces out of bounds. Looks like maybe a foul.
Yeah, I think they're going to call a foul that time with Cody Monroe.
Foul call on
Cody Monroe's first foul, 4th for South.
And this is going to be an inbounds pass. The Switzer will be the one inbounding it. As he's going to throw it clear out to Eddie, and Eddie will put up a shot. Kind of rushed there. You wouldn't think he'd put that up so early. Cody Monroe is going to put up one last shot, and that's going to take us into halftime. Excuse me. Cut that lead to 4, like I said earlier, 24-20. George Washington on top, but South has a nice little run here going on at the end.
They did.
And we'll be back with the second half. And we're back here to start off the second half. Score is still 24-20. George Washington Patriots on top of the Parkersburg South Patriots. Ricky, what's the stat sheet look like so far?
I believe we're going to start out the George Washington Patriots. Looks like Tino Trapero. I am sorry, I am terrible with names. He has 8 points on the half. Luke Eddy, he has 2. Darian Williams, he has 2 as well. Ryan Switzer, sorry, that isn't. He has 6. Thomas Frankie, he has also 6. And for your South Patriots, we have Tyler Bolin, he has 2 points. Cody Monroe, 5. Doug Dennis, 3. Matt Goldberry, 3. And Wes Mitchum, 4.
And we already start here as Parkersburg South comes off with 2 very quickly to start this second half. As GW is going to take the ball back up court as it goes out to Trapero, back to Williams. Williams back to Trapero. Eddie, then to Switzer. Williams got it on the wing, back to Switzer. Switzer's going to pass it down to big man Frankie. Frankie's nothing there, pass out to the wing Williams. Williams has a nice shot but doesn't shoot it. Frankie's going to try to drive in, and he gets a nice layup that time. Make the score 26-22. So the freshman Cody Monroe is going to pass it out to Logan Cox, and Logan Cox passes it away to Williams. And here we see some more of that George Washington speed. It looked like Williams was going to drive in, but decides to duck out the last second. Throws it down to Trapero for the 3. And Trapero with the 3-pointer again. As Monroe passes out to Cox. Cox back to Monroe. And already a quick timeout here by South.
Looked like a little confusion on the court.
Yeah, completely confused here. 2 plays in a row by Parkersburg South. Both passes just been thrown away. So the score is now 29-22.
I think South might be getting a little anxious as they try to pick up where they left off.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the second half now. Senior night, you're down by 7 points. Confusion is one thing that you cannot have right now, and I think that's what the head coach of the Parkersburg South Patriots is telling them as they come back out onto the court.
They are under a great deal of pressure, this being their senior night and their last home game, potentially the last game of the season and the last game of some of the seniors' high school careers.
So she's going to throw it to Trapero.
The black patches that you see on the South Patriot jerseys, as for their late coach, Dent.
You also have to think that Parkersburg South Patriots are also playing with a lot of heart tonight with that black patch on their jerseys.
That they are. We all know that that meant an incredible amount to them.
And also an incredible layup that time by Trapero. Under the hoop as here comes Cody Monroe. Throws it out to Lynch, who's now in the game. First time we've seen him today. Back out to Lynch. Lynch is going to throw it back down to Monroe. Monroe looks to drive in. Nothing there. Throws it back out to Mitchum. Mitchum throws it to Holland. Holland goes to put a jumper up. No good. And Eddie with the rebound as he's going to throw it to Trapero. Throws it to Eddie at the free throw line, and he gets 2. So here comes Cody Monroe. Throws it out to Mitchum. Mitchum goes to drive him. It throws out to Holland. Holland throws it back to Mitchum. Mitchum with the fadeaway, and he gets it to go. And here comes Eddie coming back up the court as he's going to throw it to Switzer.
There's that press that we were talking about with South. Looks like they're putting it on.
Yeah, tight defense that time by Holland as Chaparro looks to drive. He finds a crease and gets a nice drive to the hoop that time for another 2. As Cody Monroe comes up court, throws it to Mitchum. Mitchum puts up the 3, no good. And you got a wide open man, Chaparro down with another easy layup. South needs to slow things down here, or they'll get in real big trouble. Is now the lead has increased to 13 by G-Dub. As Monroe looks to shoot the 3, no good. But Mitchum with an aggressive rebound, and he gets fouled as he goes up again. And they're going to call that foul on number 5.
Foul is called on Eddie, his first.
That is Eddie.
Team 1.
That would be also Luke Eddy, sorry. His first foul in the game, and that would make the GW team fouls 6. First one in the second half.
Cox and Boland check in for the Patriots.
Mitchum looks to put up his second one. And he does get his second one to make the lead cut down to 11 now. We have a substitution here as Mitchum will come out and Ripito will come into the game. As Eddie's dribbling the ball up court, he's going to throw it out to Switzer. Switzer back to Eddie.
Sounds like the crowd are still trying to boo Switzer.
And Eddie looks to drive in, nothing there. And here comes Switzer. Switzer goes to drive in. And Switzer now has the ball. Thought he was going to shoot the 3 there for a second, but decides not to. Frankie with a nice drive to the hoop, and he gets the 2. As Monroe throws it down to Dennis. Back to Monroe, and then to Boland. And then to Ripito, back to Boland. Cox goes to drive in, nothing there, throws out to a wide open Cody Monroe. Monroe puts up for the 3, nothing good. As here comes Williams driving back down. Back to Williams. Then to Switzer. Switzer looks to drive in, and he's going to, but hits off the backboard. And it appears they're going to call a foul on South. They're going to call that on number 32, Ripito, for holding. And we have another substitution as number 12, Matt Goldsberry is going to check in for number 2, Cody Monroe. And Eddie gets 2. He's going to take this lead to 15. Look at Cox, 3-point line, and throw out to Boland. Thought Boland was going to shoot there, decides not to, throws it out to Ripito. Ripito back to Cox, out to Dennis. Dennis looks to drive, nothing there. Good defense by Williams. As now Cox looks to drive. And they're going to call that a travel on Cox.
It'll be Cox's first penalty for the game, second for South in the half.
Then we have a substitution as Solomon comes in for Frankie. Eddie comes up the court. Throws it out to Switzer. Switzer's going to look to drive, uses speed. He puts up a jumper, hits off the top, or front of the rim, excuse me. Wes Mitchell with the rebound. He's just going to take it up court. Throws it down to Goldsberry. Goldsberry looking for an open man. He drives in. And he throws out to Ripito, and Ripito airballs the 3, but Mitchell with a nice offensive rebound. And 1. This is what South needs here. And Dennis will come into the game for Ripito. Mitchell at the free throw line once again. Shot is up, hits off the front of the rim, no good, but an offensive rebound by Doug Dennis, and he gets the 2 back. Make it a 4-point play. Once again, we see this press, Ricky, as Eddie goes to drive in. He's got a nice crease in there, but he throws it down to Solomon, and Solomon gets the easy 2. So here comes Goldsberry.
Looks like GW is trying to lay back in the defense a little.
Wide open Bolin at the wing, and he's good for 3. And that's going to cut this lead to only 10 by G-Dub now.
Looks like South's trying to pick up where they left off.
And they're going to call a foul here on South. They're going to call that on 12, Goldsberry. So we have a substitution as the freshman Cody Monroe will check in to the game.
Looks like that was Goldberry's first foul. Second one for South on the half.
And Eddie's got a wide open Williams at the 3-point line. It's up, and it is good. Goldsberry looking for an open man here. He's got Cox, top of the key. Cox looking for another open man, takes a dribble. Back to Goldsberry. Goldsberry's gonna look to reset here. Goldsberry goes to drive in and can't get the layup off the drive. And back comes G-Dub.
Little collision there, and South ended up with the ball.
Nice turnover there for South. Logan Cox is going to drive in. And they're going to call that on GW. Blocking, they're going to call it blocking on, not exactly sure who they called that on. Little confusion here.
Our first call, I believe, was Solomon, number 25. Looks like they might be changing the number.
Refs going to take a little meeting here. And they're going to count the basket there. We're exactly 1 minute left in the third period as Cox is going to take his free throw. Shot is up. Shot is good. So it's a 10-point game now. G-Double on top. And 5-second violation there by George Washington, something they did not need. Couldn't inbound the pass 5 seconds or less here, so now Parkersburg South, will have the ball.
That looked like it was a huge turnover for GW.
And GW gets called for the foul. And then they're going to call that one on number 10, Austin Breeden. That's Breeden's second foul.
Fourth one for GW. Fifth, excuse me.
Bowen's going to inbound the pass. Finds Wes Mitchum. Wes Mitchum's going to take a hard drive to the hoop. Can't get the ball to fall. And it's going to be out on George Washington.
Seems like South's trying to do all they can do to get back this.
What a good take there by Logan Cox. Cut this lead to single digits now, only an 8-point game. But here comes Ryan Switzer and that speed. And wow. Once again, a nice layup by Switzer using his speed.
That is speed indeed, Brandon.
Cody Monroe takes up the court and throws it to Mitchum. Mitchum's going to throw it out to Goldsberry. We have just now approaching the 22nd mark in this third period. As Bolin now has the ball, he's going to throw it back to the top to Mitchum.
Looks like South's trying to take their time.
Looking to have that last shot here. As Bolin's going to take a drive to the hoop, and he can't get it to go.
Looks like GW might get that last shot, actually.
And can't get it to fall. So, coming into this fourth period now, scores 48-38. So what does South need to do to turn around in this fourth period, make this one a ball game, Ricky?
You know, I think they need to pull together as an offense more. They need to start trying to get more baskets down. They need to start going for quality over quantity, I believe. Because they do, however, get the ball a lot, and they do put up a lot of baskets. They just can't put them down. It seems like nearly every time GW gets the ball, they have a point, 2 points, or 3.
Yeah, and another thing, speed is starting to come into a factor here in this game. As a couple of these baskets have been off fast breaks by George Washington. Look for South to try to slow things down a little bit in this fourth period.
Good example of that speed is one of the last baskets, scored by Switzer. Sprinted right down the court. Like we were saying, has a 4.2, 4.3 40 time. And that is faster than I believe anyone in West Virginia.
8, 9, 3, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9. If you have that ticket, bring it to me.
As Eddie is going to dribble the ball up court, he's going to throw it out to Sparrow. Sparrow back to Eddie. Eddie's going to throw it to Switzer. Not a very good pass, but Switzer able to recover it. Sparrow at the three-point line. Goes up to Williams for a wide open three. Hits off the back of the rim. Logan Cox gets the rebound, throws it to Bolin. Bolin's going to come up court. Throws it to Mitchum.
Mitchum, an outstanding player for South in this half. He already has 10 points.
As the ball goes out to Dennis for the three, and he gets a big-time three there for Doug Dennis to cut this lead finally by 7. And here we see this press defense again. Cody Monroe gets the ball but can't control it. Switzer is able to get it back. Throws it down the court to Frankie. Frankie goes for a jump shot fadeaway, gets it. As Cody Monroe will take the ball up court.
Switzer demonstrating a little bit of his speed on that last basket.
Bolin back up to Cox. Over to Monroe. Monroe looks to try to find a crease. Nothing there. Gives it out to Cox. Cox is going to put up the jumper. Can't get it, but another aggressive rebound by Mitchum. And a good layup by Mitchum. So not only are we seeing the nice scoring here by Mitchum in this half, also being aggressive, getting those big-time boards. As here comes Switzer. And Switzer gets the and one this time. I was like, doing a little bit too aggressive there as Mitchum will get called for the foul. So Switzer has a chance to put this game back into double digits. Score 52-43 with 6 minutes and 29 seconds left in the fourth period. Switzer puts the ball up, and no good as Bolin gets the rebound. Ball's going to throw it out to Cody Monroe, and Cody Monroe, their freshman, will take the ball up court. Looks to drive in, nothing there. He's going to give it to Dennis. Dennis will throw up a three and an in and out. As here comes Switzer with a nice bounce pass, maybe a little bit too hard as Eddie can't control it and it goes out of bounds.
Speed and strength. That ball came fast.
Yeah, Eddie wasn't prepared for that one. As Monroe will take the ball up court. Monroe looking to set up a play here. Looking for an opening. He throws it to Ripperto, who throws it to Bolin, who then gets it back to Monroe. As Monroe's going to give it to Dennis. Dennis at the three-point line. Holland can't find anything as he gives it back to Bolin, who gives it then back to Holland. Back to Monroe. So just throwing the ball around here, trying to get an open shot.
Looks like they can't find a seam in GW's defense.
And they're going to call a foul there on number 21, Ryan Switzer. We'll call holding as Wes Mitchum will sub into the game for Ripito.
Mitchum return.
Looks like Switzer's second penalty on the game. I believe is sixth. GW's sixth on the half, excuse me.
Good pump, and Dennis, a good take to the hoop, but just can't finish as we have a jump ball here. And the possession arrow stays with South.
That's what we were talking about earlier, the South's quantity over quality. They do put up a surprising amount of baskets. They, however, do not fall.
I mean, such a good drive there by Dennis, but just unable to finish. And, I mean, try to get an all hoop. You know, sometimes use that backboard to your advantage. Maybe that ball goes in off a bank, but I mean, you got to finish your drives like that. That could be a difference in this game now as we're at a 9-point lead by GW with 5 minutes and 33 seconds left in this period. What do you think South will come out defensively now? You think they'll keep pressing?
I'd like to see actually South press because I believe they're getting a little more out of their defense when they do press. However, if Switzer does have the ball for GW, he could run right past their defense.
Yeah, it's really dangerous to press a team with a player like Ryan Switzer on that team so quick. If he can get past his guy front court, then, I mean, he can easily just take it to the hoop and get the easy two. So South needs to be careful with the press, but then again, they really need to shut down this GW offense.
I believe the first and second quarter, you know, that's really the time you need to feel out your opponent. But I'm not sure South is really knows what to expect from GW here at this point. They do seem to give them different looks nearly every time they have the ball, nearly every possession.
So Bolin will inbound the pass to Mitchum. Mitchum gets it out to Cox. Cox at the three-point line. Doesn't have the shot. He gives it to Bolin. Bolin had it there for a window, but no good. And Bolin's got it, and a nice pump fake there to get Switzer, and a good jump shot by Tyler Bolin. Going to cut this lead to only by 7 now, and we see the press here. And Switzer is going to pass it to Williams. Williams can't get the layup there. Going to pass it back out to his man, Trapero, as he gives it to Eddie, who then gives it back to Trapero. And they're going to call a foul on Doug Dennis here.
That'd be Dennis's second foul for the game. 4th for South this half.
Foul is called on Dennis. His second, team 4th.
Eddie looks to set up a play here. Ryan Switzer.
There the crowd is booing Switzer again.
As Trapero is going to try to get a jumper here. Can't get it. And a rebound there by Monroe. He's just going to take it up court. Doug Dennis in the wing. Tightly covered by Trapero. Gives it back to Monroe. Monroe trying to bounce pass it down to Cox. And Cox throws it right into Trapero's arms as Trapero comes racing down the court. And he's going to go for the layup. Can't get it to fall. And there's Wes Mitchum with the rebound once again. And Dennis is going to drive in, but he gets fouled by number 30, Frankie.
Foul called.
Frankie's second foul for GW. 7th for this half.
And it appears it's going to be a 1-and-1. As Dennis goes to the free throw line. And the first one, he gets it to go. Cuts this lead to 6. This is second shot is big here for Parkersburg South to cut this lead to 5 and have a nice little comeback here as he does score now 52-47. And quietly, Parkersburg South has snuck back into this game.
That they have. We might look for a comeback here by South.
Let's give it to Frankie. Frankie's going to pass out to Williams, back to the top to Eddie. And Frankie looks to take it to the hoop. And he's going to get called for a walk as his left foot slid.
Frankie, as he gets his 3rd foul, 8th for GW.
Cody Monroe looking to drive. He's going to pass it out to Price, who's back in the game. Price passes it to Cox. DeAndre throws it to Bolin. Bolin looks like he's going to shoot the three. Doesn't. Gets it back out to Mitchum. Mitchum needs to be careful here with the ball. So throw it clear across court here to Monroe. As Monroe looks to drive in. Nothing there. Throws it back out to Cox. Bolin on the wing. Going to Cox. That's the thing. Cox is going to take the shot. He's got a wide open look, or Mitchum, excuse me, and he throws it out to Cox. But there was a foul on the play, and they're going to call that on Bolin, so it will be G-Dub's ball.
Bolin's third foul, 5th for South. You know, we haven't seen a lot from Price this game, Brandon. What do you think their motive is there?
Well, I think they're really putting Price in here because he's quick on his feet, very fast, using him more for a defensive thing. As there we see some great defense by Wes Mitchum with a nice block on Ryan Switzer.
Yeah, I think I might have to agree with you, Brandon. That might bring the morale of the team
and
up
there's
a little.
DeAndre Price putting up the three, and he just airballs at that time. But what we haven't seen from Price is great defense so far. You know, putting a quicker guy in there, trying to shake things up on G-Dub.
I think
it might the three-point line. He's going to try to drive in, and there's a good defense by Price.
Sorry, Brandon. I think they might want to put Price on Switzer. Actually, that might sound like a good combination to me.
Yeah, both defense. Real quick, real fast. I haven't really seen Price full sprint yet, but he might be the quickest on the team. So we'll see here as there was a foul on the play, and they're going to call that on Thomas Frankie as Logan Cox, excuse me, will have 2 shots at the free throw line.
Sorry, Brandon.
What were you saying, Ricky?
That was Frankie's 4th foul, actually, for the game, and 9th for GW.
And there we see DeAndre coming out of the game. And Logan Cox did hit that first one to cut this score down to 4, or cut the lead down to 4, excuse me. Cox second one, no good. Frankie gets the rebound. And Eddie's going to walk it up the court as we now have a 4-point game here.
Timeout, GW.
GW is going to call a timeout, try to slow things down here a little bit. So what was South doing different here in this fourth period? Like we said, quietly coming back up into this game. Now a 2-possession game on South's side. What has South been doing?
You know, I'm not entirely sure, Brandon. Maybe they might be keeping up the pressure that they had at the beginning. Maybe GW is getting a little worn out. Maybe not entirely sure how to keep up with South at this point because, as you do know, South does have endurance.
Yeah, maybe conditioning comes into a factor here for Parkersburg South and George Washington. They've been shutting down that speed a little bit this 4th period, using that full court press like we said at the beginning of the 4th period.
There's we see the South Patriot doing a little dance.
Everyone's getting back into the game, including the student section. And if you could be here with us and look around this crowd, I mean, everyone here on the Parkersburg South side is dancing, getting back into the game, getting more entertained. You know, we got 2 minutes and 21 seconds left. The Parkersburg South Patriots need to come out and really play their hearts out. I mean, this is regionals, this is senior night. This is a huge night for these seniors at Parkersburg South. How will they respond? And we'll get that answer in 2 minutes and 21 seconds. As GW will inbound here out of the timeout. So back to Chapero. So we see that good tight defense by Bolin. And throw it out to Switzer. Switzer's got a wide open lane. And he gets a nice drive to the hoop as Cody Monroe takes the ball up court. 6-point lead for George Washington. Wes Mitchum now has it. He looks to drive in. He's going to throw it out to Bolin. Bolin with the wide open 3. And he hits off the side of the rim. And here comes Switzer racing down court once again. Passes out to Williams. And they're going to reset here as it goes back up to Eddie at the top of the floor. He throws it to Chapera. Chapera looks to set up a play here. George Washington looks to slow things down a little bit as it goes to Switzer. Switzer's got another nice drive to the lane, but can't get this one. And they're going to call that one out on GW. And the George Washington fans don't agree with the refs on that one, as Logan Cox will inbound this one to Cody Monroe.
Very good call for South. Seems like they might have needed it right now, being behind 6 points.
And here comes Cody Monroe. He's got a nice drive to the lane, but big-time defensive block there by Thomas Frankie. He's having quietly having a really good game today. And they're going to call a foul on Bolin there.
Minute left in the fourth here. That'll be the fourth foul for Bolin this game.
So this is a two-possession game here. South has to do something here. There's only a minute left. But a minute, really, you have to remember, a minute is still a long time in a basketball game.
That it is, Brandon.
Look for George Washington to slow things down a little bit, keep the ball moving. And once again, they're going to call another foul, that time on Bolin. And he's holding.
Bolin's fifth.
And it appears that Bolin will be done for the night.
You always hate to see that, Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, playing with their hearts out, but still playing aggressive here.
Eddie at the line.
And Eddie will be at the 3-4 line. First one is up. Good. So he will get his second shot. Makes it a 7-point game now. Second shot is up, and it's in and out. Hit out by Thomas Frankie. So Parkersburg South will have the ball back with 50 seconds left. 7-point game. Here comes Monroe. Monroe's going to throw it out to Dennis. Dennis goes back to the three-point line. Throws it to Goldsberry. Goldsberry throws it to Cox. He's going to bounce into Mitchum. Mitchum went to lean in there on the defender there, number 5, Eddie. Eddie being smart about that, moving out the way and getting the walk on Mitchum, excuse me.
Mitchum's second penalty. I believe the 8th for South.
Foul is called on Cox.
So Eddie will go to the free throw line here.
Eddie at the line.
First one is up, and it is good. That'll make the score 56-48 with 28.2 seconds left in this fourth period. Here comes Cody Monroe at the court. Looking to drive in. He's going to throw out to Cox. Cox looks to drive in. He's got a wide open. And a big dunk there by Logan Cox. Good to see that some of these players still playing with pride. With only 18 seconds left, Logan Cox, the big man, takes it to the hoop aggressively.
Hopefully that'll give South maybe a bit of pride ending this game, potentially 57-50.
With 18 seconds left in the fourth period. And here comes Parkersburg South back out on the court. Good to see the student section still having a little bit of fun here. Still believing in their team, still cheering their team on. It's great to see.
That they are, Brandon. That they are.
And we also see DeAndre Price back out into the game, a senior this year. And that one's they're going to call that foul on number 2.
That was called on Monroe.
Monroe's second foul, 9th for South this half.
Eddie at the line.
And here we go. Foreign exchange student A.G. Ozcan coming into the game here with 16.9 seconds left. A senior coming over this year's foreign exchange student from Turkey. Good to see him to get in the game tonight. and also number 1 Ryan Patterson, another senior in the game, as Eddie gets the first one to go. Here comes Goldsberry to court. About 13 seconds left. Patterson looks to take it to the hoop. No good, but he gets his own rebound. And a nice jump shot there by Ryan Patterson. And the student section goes crazy. And that's going to be the end of the game. And what better way to end the game for Parkersburg South? Score 59-52, but a senior to come in at the end of the game, not really play that much throughout the game, come in and get the last jump shot for Parkersburg South. I mean, you can't write it any better than that. Just a good ending.
No, you can. That was a great game that we saw here today, Brandon. Do you agree?
Yeah, awesome, really good game. Both teams played their hearts out. You know, you feel bad senior night, regionals. These seniors got to go out losing to GW, but you also have to look on the other side. George Washington coming in this game 15-5, now advancing to 16-5. We saw, like we pointed out at the beginning of the game, using their speed with Ryan Switzer, using their aggressiveness with Thomas Frankie, and even using their height to their advantage with Thomas Frankie. Thomas Frankie had an amazing game, someone we didn't really talk about that much, but throughout the game, big key plays that helped George Washington get on top. But I also want to go to the Parkersburg South side. Somebody else that had a really good game for Parkersburg South that was kind of quiet there was Cody Monroe. You know, the freshman playing varsity, didn't really take that many shots at the basket, but did an awesome job of taking the ball, distributing it around to his other players. That's really what a point guard's all about. And it's good to see a freshman like Cody Monroe coming up, being a star point guard for his varsity team like that. What's the stat sheet look like, Ricky?
Stat sheet look like, let's go with your winners. George Washington Patriots first. The Trapo had 17 points for the whole game. Luke Eddy, had 11. Breeden had 5. Williams had 5. Switzer had 12. Frankie had 12 and 2. And Solomons had 2. Frankie, correction, had 12. Okay, now your South Patriots. Bolin having 5 for the game. Monroe having 5 as well. Dennis having a total of 10. Goldberry having 3. Mitchum, 16. And Logan Cox, 11.
And also Patterson, didn't really have it down, but 2, getting that last jump shot. I mean, you could send it to Hollywood, and you couldn't have a better ending than that. You know, a team losing, but having a senior come in that didn't really play much. I mean, the student section's chanting for him to come in, misses one shot, gets his own rebound, and just the last second jump shot sinks it. It's sad Parkersburg South's got to go home tonight on senior night, but I'm sure they wouldn't want it to end another way than that, being the losers.
You know, at least South kept their integrity. Even though it was a loss, they did play a great game, and I know that they're going to go home thinking, yeah, it's a loss, but, you know, they played their hearts out. They laid it all in the field. And, you know, what better way to end a loss than that? You know, it's always hard taking a loss, though, and you can never be happy with that. But
go ahead, Ricky.
But still, they still had a great game, but they still also have regionals. You know, that'll be their potentially last, maybe more games to play after that. You know, they're still going to enjoy that, but this being their last game at the Rod Oldman, they did play a great game.
Yeah, I mean, if you come out here and you give it your all and you leave everything out on this court, you can't walk off this court being a loser. You can have your head held high knowing that you gave all you could give tonight, and that's what the South Patriots need to do. And we'd like to wrap it up here by saying thank you to the Wood County Technical Center for letting us do this, CAS Cable for airing this for us, and Wood County Schools, and both principals, both George Washington and Parkersburg South, for also letting us do this. I'm Brandon Leisure.
And I'm Ricky Hill.
Have a good night.